Welcome everyone.
Hello, virtual modelers.
Indeed. Virtual?
Virtual modelers.
Virtual models.
Yes.
Very good. So, episode number 38, and it's another Friday, the 5th of March.
Yay, Friday.
And there's two of us here today.
Yep.
One is different.
Slightly, just a little bit.
He's a welcome back. It was
Thank
only
you.
2 weeks ago that you were here last time.
Yeah, it was.
That's
Yeah.
a very nice show.
I missed it.
You missed it?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, let's make this a routine.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
lots of stuff today. So let's give it a
Yeah,
few
lots
minutes.
cool
Got quite a few people online. Rob, Tony, welcome.
G'day, guys.
So, lots of stuff today. So, you can have a super cool model that you can see up here that we're gonna.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
not you the
remember it.
model. That's your model, perhaps.
It is my model.
That's your model. Then we're gonna talk about the new YOKOMO BD10 up here.
Yep. The wall of YOKOMO out there.
What else we have? We've got some tutorials on
yeah,
painting some models,
Thought I'd let in some trade secrets, I guess.
some trade secrets, and then we're gonna have some model railway tutorials as well. So
Yeah.
very
Another
packed
full
show.
house. Yes,
So let's get started.
sure thing.
First thing first is the competition.
Yes.
Are you gonna enter the competition?
Am I allowed to?
You're not allowed to.
Can I come as someone else?
You can come with someone else, but competition is on. It's going to be on for another couple of weeks. All information are on the Facebook page, so jump there. I think Matt is going to pop the link now. Just enter your model, your diorama, which can be virtually any kind of diorama, any scene that you can possibly think of. Enter with obviously the finished product, nice photos, and also some progress photo. You get a few more points.
Yes, very important. Yeah, if you don't do the progress photos, your chances of winning are essentially zero. So
very much so.
we like to see people's processes too. How you make the magic happen. It's kind of cool.
We want to effectively share how you get to the end result, so everyone can learn something out of this. That's really the idea. The point of this is to see what people do, how you get there, perhaps what tools you use. So there's always some new techniques that everyone is experimenting.
Yeah,
in fact, we're going to show some today, and that's the principle. So the more entries that we have, the more the bigger the price will be at the end.
Yeah.
So there will be a $5 price value per entry.
Yes.
So and then will be subdivided between first, second, and third. And what else? I guess you can enter a model that you've already produced, finished. Does have something that you built within these 3 weeks. So as long as you have all the photos and everything ready.
Yeah. And are we getting feedback on this one?
We are going to get feedback on this one, and we're going to probably bring some photos at in one of the lives. So there'll be some
that'd be a cool idea. Yeah.
A bit of conversation, discussion after that.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's a good way to learn.
Definitely.
The feedback's really good. Because if you just sit there in the bubble, you just keep doing the same things over and over again, and you don't know if you're getting any better. So.
Let's get building.
Yeah.
Anything really works. Can be sci-fi, can be armor, can be civilian, just really anything. Can be a car model with a figure.
It doesn't have to be complex. You don't have to create a world. You can just do a little vignette, something that supports the main model kit. Is always a good thing to do. So that's just perfectly fine.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. There's quite a few people jumping online, so that's great to see everyone.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Hi.
So as usual, we have a car down here.
Yes.
So let's start the guessing. It's definitely a classic, I think.
And I'm not giving it away.
Don't give the name or the year or anything else.
No. I'm a veteran now. I know how this works.
Very good. So,
sort of.
Guys, let's start guessing the car that we have on today.
Yeah.
And what else? Well, we start with Hearns Workshop.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a couple of really cool products, in my opinion. I think we briefly showed them last week, but now we have them.
But now they're fully fledged and ready for sale on the website and everything.
Let's jump on this camera here so you guys can have a look.
So what we've done here is we've created some crates.
Let's move forward a little bit. There we go. Should focus in a second, hopefully. Yeah, that's it.
There we go. So I've done 3 different sets with this. There's a German one, there's an Allied one, and then there's just a kind of a general mixed kit as well. So these were based off reference photos and even some technical drawings. So they're super accurate. The ammo boxes, I don't know if we can see the ammo boxes. Like the detail that the Form 3 picks up on those ammo boxes, just incredible. All the latches, the hinges, everything is all to scale and all accurately rendered. So yeah, pretty amazing. And yeah, 3 different versions. So take your pick, really, whichever suits your diorama.
And then we have a generic. So these are got the German and
There's allied
one, and then a generic one as well. So
yeah.
it's got a bit of a mix of everything.
Yeah,
So
a couple of different size crates for sticking fruit and veggies.
fruit and veggies, anything really.
Hand grenades.
That's right. And so
Shoes.
this is in 35th scale.
Yep, currently it's the 35th, but
We will have them in 72nd at least.
yeah,
I would say,
48.
in 48 scale.
48
So
scale, yeah.
the 35th scale is already listed, and the other ones will be listed shortly as well. So
Yeah,
and
very
it's
versatile.
part of the Hearns workshop range. So there's a few new things coming through almost weekly, up and down, depends. But
Yeah.
takes quite a bit of time
we try
to
for a week.
research those, because normally we do work. There's a bit of research on the actual
Yeah.
original photo, and they're fully designed in house. So
Yeah,
we kind of scratch design them effectively.
yeah, build them from well, if you're going to model them, you might as well be as accurate as you can.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I do like to do my homework on these ones. Most things, if I can find technical drawings or specifications, I model them directly from that, so they don't get any more accurate than this.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, it brings a lot of detail to to maybe your diorama for the comp. You know?
That's it. And so on the Hearns Workshop page on our website, you see quite a few things there for the diorama actually that you can use for your project. There's quite a lot of things in there.
Yeah,
that you can pick
barrels
from.
and
Barrels.
containers and
That's right. So
growing weekly. So
and
check it out.
and we will have the buffer stops actually that you designed a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, for the train guys. Yeah,
That will be ready soon.
once again based off the VR drawings, so accurate down to the last detail.
That's
So,
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
bring some super realism to your layout.
Very, very good. So,
That's cool.
what new products do we have here? What new products we got? We will see quite lots of stuff this week actually.
We do. It was crazy.
Very intense.
I'm exhausted.
A huge Traxxas delivery, probably the biggest Traxxas delivery we have
Yeah.
seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, the truck backed in and tipped.
So TRX6s in white again,
Yeah.
X-Maxes,
X-Maxes,
slashes,
heaps of slashes.
anything
yeah.
really. So lots of Traxxas.
Yeah, so if you love your Traxxas, now's the
Absolutely.
time.
So
come on down.
lots of Traxxas stuff.
Yes.
But we also receive Green Stuff World.
Green stuff.
Was,
Yeah, biggest
well
biggest
overdue.
shipment of green
Huge,
stuff.
huge,
I
huge.
know a lot of people have been hanging out for that. It's when we decided to bring it in, we sort of got a little bit of everything, and it's gone super well. I mean, you guys love it. So yeah, so we went hard this time around and
402 items that are entered on
got
that
402 items.
invoice. Different items, which I remember. Actually,
Yeah,
we
there's
remember
lots of,
better.
Yeah, lots of new stuff that we haven't had before.
Definitely. So let me grab a box.
yeah, let's
and
have-
we'll start looking at that.
let's have a fondle. Let's have a look.
So I picked a few things as I was walking through the shop before. Let's see. I'll put them out here and then we can talk about them.
Not about it.
Let's see what we've got. I think you have used some of those. For those decals.
Well, yeah, I've used the decals. The magnets are back too. I know people have been asking where are the magnets,
Yeah.
and yeah, we finally got new.
Excuse me,
those.
sir.
Yes.
You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
Doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-dum.
And there's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby. But baby, baby, I know it. You've lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone.
Oh, he's going.
Gone.
Whoa.
Whoa, ba-dum, ba-dum.
And there's something else new by the look of it.
He's gone.
It's gone. All right.
Apparently, we got Top Gun stuff in today.
As well.
Who knew?
Nathan did. That was the most spectacular entry we had in
that was
live so far.
spectacular. Thanks, Nathan.
So-
Round of applause for Nathan.
So Nathan made it to the live finally. Welcome.
That was
So
fantastic.
let's pack green stuff. as we
Oh, I
talked
know.
Briefly.
It's hard to because I'm excited about both. You know, just equally, clearly.
So Top Gun movie
Yes.
is out in a few months.
It is July.
July 2nd
Apparently.
apparently. And where it is going to fall over into your model.
yeah.
So let's back this
Let's
down
back
here.
it down again. Yep.
So
Yeah. So Maverick is has traded in his Tomcat for a Hornet. So yeah, Revell have released a new Hornet and also the ubiquitous Tomcat. And I think we've also had the Yeah, the double kit, and
kit.
released earlier was the Mustang as well. So yeah,
Full range of the Top Gun
fun stuff.
movie.
Very fun stuff.
So there's 72nd scale, there's 48 scale, there's a bit of a range actually.
There is a bit of a range.
So everything for everyone.
Yeah, sadly no miniature Tom Cruise, but
We'll have to produce that.
we'll 3D print it, or we'll talk to Revell or something. We'll
We'll make
it
a little Tom.
We'll make it happen. Tiny Tom.
And so big range. So we got, what have we got here? The couple 72nd here.
Yeah, so there's easy clicks, and
Easy
there's,
clicks,
there's
it's quite
also
nice.
the sort of the more complicated ones for the enthusiasts. So yeah, they look really cool.
Cool. So
Bit of
that's
fun.
a big stand actually. So we've got a big stand in the
We
front of the
do.
shop with the
There's a
full
lot. There's a lot.
range of these models. There are probably six or seven different ones.
Yes.
There's a double set here. There's 2 planes in here. And then you've got the individual one in 48 scale across here and a 72nd down here. So,
Indeed. So
Top Gun.
if you've lost that loving feeling, come back into Hearns and get it again.
Yes. So here's your Top Gun selection. I'll pop it back here.
Yep.
And we can go back to
Go back to green stuff.
green stuff. Okay, so some of these things we had them before. I don't think we probably talked about those all in detail yet.
No, so,
Magnets.
Yeah, magnets back, so that'll make people very happy.
We had them before. They sold out extremely fast.
Yeah.
There's probably 10 different sizes actually, down from 1mm
Yeah, they're tiny and
diameter.
super powerful.
Super powerful, yeah.
So people are using them to, if you've got mecha or creatures with different arms and different weapons, rather than trying to, stick a pin in a hole, you just put 2 magnets there and click.
There you go. So you can see they come in
quite
about
good.
20. So there's 3mm, about 0.5, and then you go up to all the way to the 5 by 2mm. Quite a few different
Yeah.
ones, and there's 50 units in here.
Yep, very good.
Very big set, so very useful
Yep, they were cool.
for all different type of applications. I think these are new. I don't think we had these before, and I was quite amused by
Yeah.
these. And there's different colors. I think there's blue and green.
Yeah, I thought I saw
And
green
probably-
ones out there.
Different colors as well.
I stared at them for a full 30 seconds wondering what I could possibly do with them.
I'm sure
but
you can do something. So
I'm sure there's creative people out there that can figure some stuff out.
I guess if you do a sci-fi type diorama,
You could,
Okay,
yeah.
that
Have them
would be-
stick them out of the ground.
perfectly fine. So these are called Resin Crystals.
Yeah.
So you can do all kind of different things, and there's a few different colors.
And
Now-
are these new?
These are definitely new. I haven't
Yeah.
seen these before, and these are I think some patterns really to use with your green stuff, perhaps to get some
Yeah.
different
well, it looks,
textures.
yeah, so then they come in, looks like they come in, like these are new to me, so yeah, excuse my
There's
lack of knowledge. But
5 different ones.
Yeah.
I can probably open it up quickly.
yeah, so this one's got tubes, tentacles and wires.
Yes, and this one has a few different, more like
Yeah, I think it's the same, just larger scale.
larger scale. Yeah, as you can
Yeah.
see. Let's see if you can see on camera. You can have this pattern here.
Yeah, so the concept is that you roll out a tube of green stuff, and then you roll it along this roll maker, texture maker,
Yeah,
and it makes tubes and cables and tentacles and
all
all
kinds of different
sorts, all
things.
sorts
So
of good stuff.
different sizes, different shapes, but that's really useful. Again, for diorama, I guess, type
Yeah.
models.
Well, I guess the good thing about these is that, I mean, normally if I was, say, building a kit and I wanted to put some hoses or something on it, I'd have to have like 10 different sizes and pick the right
Yeah.
one. With this, you can just make whatever size you want, so that's super handy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Then we have this kind of, let's see if you can get it on camera. Take a second here.
Yeah, so little photo etched parts.
Parts, yeah, of all different kinds, really.
Yeah,
quite
some,
nice,
some
yeah.
German crosses,
German
and
crosses,
some, yeah.
Some stars, some crosses, all kind of different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could imagine the fantasy guys putting them on armors,
Yeah.
sticking them on armor and
Absolutely.
embellishing them and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
And here's some decals. I think you used some of these decals on one of your models.
I did. I kind of bought them on a whim because I like the idea of generic decals because I don't know if you use the same decals, especially if you're doing sci-fi or whatever. If you use the same decals everyone else is using, it kind of gets a bit boring
That's right.
and a bit samey. So yeah, I bought some of these. They go on really well. They're they're good. They're great quality. I can.
So
I
the
can
water
vouch
slide
for.
decals.
Yeah, water slides. Yep.
And, and some
Quite a few different varieties. Some
really cool ones, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Danger.
Generic safeties.
Zombies.
Don't feed the zombies.
Don't feed the zombies. That's never a good thing.
No, never come. Nothing.
And some more retro classic, I guess, here.
Yeah, you can do some do some posters to adorn the walls of
Absolutely.
a diorama or a
Really
building
like
ruins or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
recommend those.
And then we have some effects here, some paints. There's the chrome. You can airbrush the chrome.
Yeah, well, Marlin's giving that a go on the weekend, so he'll be able to
see what happens with this.
Yeah, report back and see what his own
Then we have the
experiences is like.
liquid frost.
Liquid frost. Well, I'm all about snow at the moment, as you can tell from
I think
my
this
last.
is next on your list.
Yeah, I think that's coming home with me tonight, definitely.
Cool. So I'll put this on the side here.
Thanks.
And
Good old-fashioned bile.
color.
Yep.
That will be interesting as well.
Yep.
And I
Bile.
think we showed this before. True blood.
Yeah, and the blood, yeah.
The blood, we had this before. There's a couple of different colors from memory on the blood. There's,
Yeah. Depending on how dead you are.
That's right. There's a couple of different tones. So, and that's for the blood. So that's for the paints.
Yep.
And then moving on, we have also quite a bit of foliage. So let's pack this back up.
Yep.
Let's see if you have any question in the meantime.
Yeah.
There is a question for you guys from the Top Gun.
Yes.
Sure.
It's from Gary. They're asking, are they or is there any 132 scale planes?
I don't think there is any 132nd. I think the largest is 48 from what I could see.
Yeah.
And that was the largest one at this stage.
I mean, you can always get a Tomcat in that
Exactly,
scale.
in that scale, yes.
Yeah, but none with that specific livery from from the movie. So lots of grassy stuff.
So this is just a very tiny selection of the grassy stuff. There we go. And some foliage. And again, this is perfect for diorama for general scale modeling, but also for railway.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Really quick effects. You know, in the past, you know, you had to painstakingly, you know, create all of this stuff from scratch. But now, there's now quite a few companies that are just making it ready to go, so you can mix and match and get the effects that you want. So, yeah, Green Stuff's doing some nice work.
So obviously they've got the mats now.
Yeah,
kind of mats, the different colours of these mats that you can actually tear apart.
Yeah, you can
So you can see
tear
here.
them and make the grass patchy, which always looks a lot more realistic than just having a field.
So there's 3 or 4 different colours of these rolls. So it's green, a bit yellow, and different tones.
Yeah, to go a long way.
You have some tufts like these ones,
Yeah, tufts in different scales.
different scales.
And some leaf litter. Leaf litter is really good for just mixing it up a bit. You know, if you got some sort of ground surface and it's just all stone or it's just all dirt, it's amazing what just adding a couple of leaves does. Just add some more visual interest.
That's right.
So they've got quite a few of those as well. Plus they're famous stamps as well. So you can make your own. Yeah.
And
There's the leaf litter there.
Here we go. Let's see if we can get.
So yeah, we've got all the stamps back in stock too. So now you can, if you want a particular leaf style, you can buy those as well.
So the camera was switched on the front camera, so you can see the mats here.
Yep.
Really nice mats.
Yeah, super handy.
And then there's some larger mats again here. This is with flowers actually, to give a very nice effect here.
Yeah.
As you can see.
And I've got guides inside them which will let you know how to apply them properly.
Definitely.
So that's really good.
So, and then some other kind of
they're doing some absolutely tiny laser cut foliage.
Foliage,
There's quite a few different varieties worth coming in to have a check out. Super realistic, super finely detailed. There'd kind of be no other way to replicate this kind of this kind of thing.
And most importantly, we have a restock of
this is going to make
the original stuff. So that's where actually green stuff, what I think started.
Yes, it was.
This kind of green and blue stuff, which was originally green,
the
and then
two-part puddies.
two-part putties. So that's where it all started.
Yeah, I can hear happy people already. Going, finally back in stock. So yeah, we've got all the blue stuff.
So the green stuff, blue stuff, in different kind of sizes and tubes and rolls.
Yeah.
So Important, everything is back in stock.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
so
pop
come
these
in and
away.
check it out.
We had one attempt at the car in front so far
Yes,
Only one attempt. Come on,
from
guys.
Rob.
looks like a Monaro. Nope. Nope. Let's see. I'll bring this one up here. Let's see if you can get a bit more. Can you get closer?
No.
I see. Alright, let's start guessing what car this may be. So we need to get the model, the year, and the color. I'll put this back here, see what you guys think. Just drop some comments. And so, lots of new products, so we covered those.
Yes. Yeah.
And you
what a
finally finish that.
I did. Yeah, COVID was a weird year for me anyway, scale modelling. I think I started about 5 things and finished absolutely nothing.
That's not true.
Didn't I?
You
that's
finished
true.
quite a few things actually.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, you finished a few.
But yeah, really looking forward. I was really looking forward to finishing this guy. This kit is the only kit that so far I've built 2 of from the MASCHINEN KRIEGER range. So far I've just built 1 and then I've enjoyed them. But I think this has got to be. If I only had to pick one for the rest of my life, I think it would be the Großer Hund or the Big Dog, as we like to call it. And so yeah, I finished this one off on the weekend, and I just thought I'd bring it in, and you can have a look at it. Should we just bring it in? Bring it in closer.
Bring it in closer. Here, have a look at this guy.
Yeah.
So there is a name as well.
There is
a name.
I don't know why I did this, but I used one of the green stuff. All of the decals except for one on this is from Green Stuff World, and it's not MASCHINEN KRIEGER. Again, just because I wanted to just mix it up a bit. So yeah, if you have a look on the front, where are we?
Josh, come not too close probably.
Oh,
Pop down a bit. Here we go.
there we go. Daisy.
That's him.
Her name is Daisy.
It's her.
Yeah. So this is a couple of years ago I did the ALTAIR, which is the version with the jetpack and the laser rifle on his arm. And this time around I wanted to do the Vega, which is the recon version. I've just got this thing at the moment where I'm just sort of enjoying doing non-shooty robots, for want of a better term.
Perfect.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Tried a few different techniques. Probably the biggest thing about this guy is the Großer Hund doesn't come with a left arm. It's got a laser rifle as the entire arm. So I've reversed engineered that so that it matches the existing right-handed one. And also did the radar unit as well. So I'm not sure if it's on the. Is it on the?
No, I don't think this one is maybe yet.
But
it may become a part of the Hearns Workshop range. It's ready, it's pretty much ready to go now.
It is ready to go. I've prototyped it. I give it the thumbs up. So yeah, hopefully that'll be available. And look, if you guys are interested in it, let us know. Yeah, send us an email, send us a message on
Get
Facebook.
it organised.
Yeah, and we can sort of make it happen. So yeah, so that was the big thing with this. Different decals, a few parts from a few different other kits, such as this radar unit here is from the Croat, and yeah, the custom built arm and wiring. The great thing about these kits, and we've got some ALTAIRs on the shelf, and we also have the Dachshund, which should be coming fairly soon, I think. Which is Hasegawa's release of what used to be a garage kit version of this kit. So that's something to look forward to. But we have the ALTAIR at the moment. Unfortunately, we don't have the Vega. If you wanted to, you could quite easily convert it. But it's a highly recommended kit. I just love it to death. It's one of those kits that looks great on the table, but in photographs it's really hard to kind of capture just how detailed and interesting. There's always something new to see every time you look at it.
We'll take some close-up photos later on.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see some good photos.
A few posts throughout the week.
Yeah.
But there's so much detail. I think it's really hard for the camera to actually focus on these and for you to give us the details. But there's so much detail in here around the head, all the wiring on the arms.
I think that's one of the things that I really like about it. You've got sort of all these big slabby areas where you can, do some nice camouflage patterns.
Yeah.
But then there's all these little mechanical details that you can really get stuck into and pick out a few of the details. So, yeah.
Good.
Großer Hund.
Well done.
I like it.
All right. Let's spark this guy. And
all right, Daisy.
It's enough for you today. And you're going to now unveil some of the technique that you use to actually do all this.
Yeah, well, I thought BJ was doing some acrylic stuff and some color blending and color theory, and I just thought I'd just very briefly just do a rundown of just washes, what's a wash, how to do it, what sort of effects you can create with it. So yeah, well, this is the first for me, so we'll see how
it
we
goes.
go. Could get messy in a hurry, but
okay, it's got all different washes here.
Yeah,
from different manufacturers for a start.
Yeah, so look, a wash is essentially just a thin down paint. There's nothing more to it than that. There's nothing glamorous about it. And any paint that you can thin, theoretically, you can use as a wash. But generally, the types that are the most popular are either acrylic or an enamel oil-based product. We stock quite a few in the store. We've got the Vallejo range in acrylics, which is very popular. We've also got the Mr. Weathering colour, which is also an acrylic, even though it's in this deceptive bottle, which makes it look like an enamel. It's not. It's an acrylic. And one I don't have here, which is the Tamiya panel line washes. I think we've got. Oh, we do.
This one here. Okay.
There, that one. I think we've got about 5 or 6 colours now. They've just got a rusty sort of tone one, which looks really good. These are very high quality. These are really, I can quite highly recommend these. But if you want to expand your repertoire a little bit, again, as I mentioned, anything that you can thin down, you can use as a wash. So I've experimented a lot recently with just making my own washes, because what I'm finding is that with a lot of modelers, I'm looking at their repertoire of work and it all kind of looks the same, and it's great that everyone has a particular style, but what isn't great is you look at a model and the staining and the discoloration and the weathering is the same everywhere, because that doesn't happen in reality. So it's really good to mix things up, add some brown tones where you think there should be some brown tones, add some black tones where there's maybe soot or engine grease or things like that. Don't be afraid to mix it up. So to that end, I've been experimenting with a few things. I've been making my own with just Tamiya enamels, which we have a full range in store, which are very high quality paints.
So you're using a couple of different colors, I guess, to get different tones.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because all the colors are there, you can just mix whatever you want. Yeah, do something different. And the other thing you can do is you can also use oil paints. So I've got these sort of cheapy ones that I got from Eckersley's or somewhere. I've got a few oil brushes, which I bought from overseas, and some more oil paints, Abteilung oil paints. Only downside to the oils is that they work exactly the same as an enamel, but they do take a long time to dry. Like I've done some samples here, which I did 24 hours ago, and I can rub it off with my finger still, but whereas the enamel's they're on. So yeah, be aware of that. And you can also mix them together. You can mix if you don't have a particular color of enamel paint, but you do oil, mix them together. Oils and enamels work fine together. They're really good. So I'll just do a quick. I'm just going to do a quick run through, I guess.
So let's put it aside.
Yeah,
let's get a top camera
get
working.
Some top down.
Let's
action
see,
happening.
push this away. Should be good. Oh, sorry. There we go. We're back. No. Okay, cool. Right, I won't touch it anymore.
All right. You guys, nothing. So I just found a couple of old sprues lying around. And I gave them just a coat of light paints, just so you can see the contrast a bit better. So on this particular one, I've got some oil paints on this one, and on this one I've got some enamels. And this is the reason that I prefer enamels to acrylics is that I did these a day ago, and I can now go and work them the next day, the next week. It doesn't really matter. They reactivate, whereas the acrylics don't. So I'll see if I can do this and make sure it's in focus and that I can see what I'm doing.
In the meantime, while you're doing that, I think
Yeah.
we've got a few more guesses on the Ford.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's have a look. Like, we'll have a look in a moment.
Yes.
So yeah, you can see that I'm reactivating this paint even 24 hours later. It's still coming off. And I'll get into this a little bit in a minute, but the other good thing about it is that on a matte surface you can get a staining effect, which adds to the realism. So you can see that it's darker. It's darker in the panels, and also on the edges here. You can wash the paint into crevices to build up some contrast. And because this is a matte surface, yeah, it'll stain a little bit, but that's a good thing because that's what matte surfaces do. If you have a look close up, pictures of tanks and like American fighter planes and what have you, they pick up dirt like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, I think that's kind of working. I hope you can see that. And also I recommend not using a good brush for this stuff. Whatever you do, do not use a good brush. Because yeah, it kind of destroys them. But yeah, so that's the enamels. And then with the oil paints are a little bit different. You just kind of got to kind of turn them back into a wash.
It takes a little bit to activate them again.
It does take a little bit. So I'm just going to let that soak in for a bit and then move on. And I'll show you the one thing that I'll show you the difference with is the difference between a gloss finish and a matte finish. The matte finish, you have to use that to your advantage. Like that's going to stain no matter what. But if you want it to stain, then that's going to work really well for you. But if you just want a pure panel wash, panel line, a gloss or a semi-gloss is going to work better. And I don't know if we can see that.
Yep, it's perfect now.
Yep. So you can see that capillary action is just wicking that through. So you can be really messy with this. You don't have to be gentle at all. Don't have to get it right the first time, because once it sets in, anything that's on the surface you can just wipe off. Now if I try and wipe this off now, it'll more than likely get sucked into the cotton bud. We'll give it a crack and see if it'll do it. Yeah, it did a little bit, but yeah, you can kind of see the effect there. So it's a very simple way to add a lot of visual interest and detail to your kits. And so, for example, on that grosser Hund, it's probably about 8 hours. Probably spent about 8 hours doing washes and general effects. So yeah, you can see how that oil paint is coming off there now quite easily. Okay, you can. So yeah, so you can see that you can do the similar effects with both oils and enamels. So yeah, that's the basics. Not terribly difficult. Don't use good brushes, obviously, like I said. These cotton buds from Mr. Hobby are really good because, I mean, you'd think a cotton bud was a cotton bud, right? But these are actually flat, they're not round. And the good thing about that is that you can see what I did there. I went parallel to the surface. and that way you're not digging into the panel and pulling the paint out. So it's a lot easier to not have to redo it. It'll still happen. You'll still mess up, but yeah, these are really good.
So we have a couple of questions here actually.
Yeah.
So Tony's asking if there is a difference in finishing between acrylics and enamels.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no working time with acrylics. You've got to get in and get out. With the enamels, yeah, you can wait days and they will reactivate. The acrylics essentially they once they dry, you've created a layer of plastic. The paint's just dried into a plastic film. So yeah, super hard to move. You still can.
Yeah.
I've had a little bit of luck with using say like X20A from Tamiya to kind of move some acrylic washes. But yeah, it's generally a get in, get out kind of situation.
And there is one more question. Do you put a clear coat on top?
You don't have to, no, because look, it depends on how messy you are. Looks quite often. This is me being neat. I'm usually a complete mess when I'm doing it. If you're very touchy feely with your models, then look, doing a clear coat afterwards isn't a bad idea to seal everything in. I generally don't, because after a few days, unless you've got enamel thinners on your fingers, you're not really going to be pulling any paint out of any crevices or panel lines or whatever. So yeah, I think the best thing to do is just to experiment, and don't forget either that a wash isn't just to accentuate the actual panel, the lines. You can use it to accentuate a corner. You can put a wash in there, and especially if it's matte, you can put a wash in there and you can feather it, so you can almost like create artificial shadows in a way. And you can also use it in conjunction with staining. So if you want a particular area to be discolored, maybe there's been a lot of foot traffic on that particular area, you can use a wash in a spot fashion and then use the thinners to diffuse it across the surface and mottle it. So it's very simple. It's a very powerful tool. I think like probably about 50% of the weathering that I do, it could be defined as a wash in some various ways. Yeah,
It's a good way to give more depth and
yeah.
Just a matter of playing with it really and see what works for you and what
yeah,
you
absolutely.
can get to.
There's plenty of, they all do the same job. All of these products. Just yeah, have an experiment.
Have fun.
Have some fun. Yeah, see which works for you. And yeah, if you have any little tips and tricks that you like to accomplish with your models, yeah, let us know in the comments.
Drop some comments, yeah.
Yeah,
And we can,
look us up on Facebook and let us know.
Absolutely. Share some progress photos again, and we can
Yes.
then put some comments and discuss.
Yep,
Brilliant.
sounds good.
Fantastic.
No worries.
Thank
So
you.
I hope that was helpful.
Thank you. So
So we get the stuff out of the way.
we're going to get stuff out of the way. We're going to talk about trains in a minute.
Yes.
And after trains will be RC. So we small tutorial with Marlin
Yep.
on I think how to build some trees for model railways, dioramas, and also for model kits, I guess.
That is super handy.
Absolutely. And then we'll have the BD10 and a Traxxas sauce later on with Brad. So
Yeah. No worries.
thank you, Warwick.
I hope that was helpful.
We'll may see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
We
and,
want another model ready by next week, by the way, because yeah, came on.
No pressure.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. See ya.
Cool. Marlin, welcome in. So, meanwhile, we've been talking about this car. So,
Yeah,
Marlin, we've been guessing that car. So you
Oh.
can actually read it here.
I can.
But I think we've got
right.
some really good guesses just a moment ago. I think
Yeah.
Rob and Tony and Mangus have been fighting for the right name and year and colour and version. So I think we almost settled on the year 1967. XR, that's correct. GT as well. We got it. And it's a Falcon, obviously. The polar white is not correct. Do we have the colour yet?
Yes, I believe someone.
I think
did.
I've seen a colour actually a moment ago.
Yes.
There is a dark white No. Oh yes, there is. There we go. There we go. It's Abyss
winner.
White. So we have a winner. So I think a combination of 4 of you have managed to actually get the right model. So it's a 1967 Ford Falcon XR GT Abyss White. Well done. It's back here. There we go. You can have a look at that in a second anyway. Cool.
I wouldn't mind the full-size version of that.
Yeah, full-size version.
Yeah, that would be very
Alright.
nice.
So if anyone has a spare full-size version,
Scale 1 to 1.
1 to 1, please. So talking about scale, so we're going to talk about dioramas again, which is again the topic of our current competition, modeling competition, but this time is for a railway site, which I guess can be applied to anything with these standard techniques.
So what we're going to talk about is just scenery building using Woodland Scenic products, which we just received a huge restock of. Just a massive range of products that you would use to make model railways in every scale and diorama building. So if you're doing like military modeling or just building a diorama for any reason, all of these products are applicable.
That's right.
We're just gonna demonstrate a few products that we're going to be using today actually. Just to do what we're doing, and over the course of the next few weeks we're actually going to turn this into a nicely scenic diorama. And let's just sort of set everything up so you can see what we're working with. Now this diorama is sort of like as a pre-made structure, just to help assist us with getting it all built up. And you would ordinarily build something like this using a piece of foam. Just you can see the styrofoam at the back. And then rolls of plastic cloth, which Woodland Scenic produces in various different sizes, you would lay over the top of the surface. And then you could form that over and then sand it down. And then this rock structure here, you would create this using a rock mold. Now these are just a silicon mold that you pour plaster into. We have an example of some plaster here. Because they're flexible,
You can pop them out.
yeah, you can pop them out very easily. So you just mix the plaster with the right ratio of water, and they make a big range of plaster for different applications. And this chart on the side shows what plaster is best to use for what job. Yeah, strength and weight. In this case,
as well.
we'd be using the lightweight hydrocal plaster, which is ideal for a situation where you want medium strength, but you want a nice lightweight scenery base. So that's how you create something like that. I'll put that aside for now. What we're really going to get into today is building some trees.
Got your tree here. It's here.
That's it.
I'll put this stuff away so don't drop it.
So just as the very first step, we're going to make the trees.
So, pop everything here, so just roughly here we can see on the camera.
So that's clump foliage. That's what you'd use to make the foliage on the tree. And then we also will have our Hobby Tech glue, and we'll go through step by step on how you use these. And our little tree armatures. And some fine turf. Okay, so Woodland Scenics produces these make-it-yourself trees. And they come in a pack. There's several different ones depending on if you want to do pine or deciduous trees, and they come in random lengths, so different sizes, different heights depending on the kind of scale you want to model and the size of the tree you want to do. So they look very flat, not very tree-like at all at this point. Basically they are basically metal coated in plastic and just sort of left with a nice brown finish. So to start making a tree, you actually just pull that off and then pull the base off. It just twists off really easily. And then you can attach the base to the tree stump. And that just slides on like that. And these branches are really flexible, so you just sort of want to make it as organic looking as possible and just have the branches go out in all different directions. Just sort of step back and have a look and look at it from different angles and make sure that you're getting rid of that flatness. You could even use a real tree as a guide on how to make this look good, but it's very easy to do. Very easy to bend, very workable. That's looking much more tree-like, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive when you go from that flat
Yeah.
tree that you don't even think it's going to look like a tree to this. It's big shift, and definitely there's some good depth there.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than what
Definitely.
you start
Than
with.
what it was.
But you can fit a lot more in a bag when they're like this.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's ready to go. And then the next thing that you will need to do, and I'll just quickly grab where I put it. So this is hobby tack glue. So it's a really tacky glue that is ideal for allowing the foliage that we'll be using to stick to the branches. So what we'll do is with our new tree, I've just got a little pot of it here. Just grab a brush, hobby tack glue, and then everywhere you want branches to be on your tree, that's where you put your glue. So depending on whether you want to make a nice lush full tree with lots of leaves, or you could have something that's perhaps like in winter,
Yeah.
you could leave it bare or just have just a little bit left on it. Or because Woodland Scenics makes foliage in like every color you could think of, you could do like autumn trees with like orange and yellow and red.
That's right. All kind of different, you can mix different colors and all that.
I'll have a personal question myself for you guys. With this glue, can you be as liberal as you like, or is it best to be very conservative with the glue?
I think you can be liberal with it in this case, because you want things to stick really. I mean, if you want to have a lot of foliage on there, the more glue you add, the better.
Yeah.
But what you need to do is before you actually put anything on, you need to let it sit for approximately 15 minutes. And right now you can see that it's quite, like it's opaque, it's white. Eventually that will dry, and it will be clear. It'll be clear matte. But at least when it's this color, you can see where you've applied it, and you can see how thick you've applied it. So I think that would be pretty good. You'd have, can't stop brushing it, but
That's it. You love it.
you got that would be ideal, I think, for what we're trying to do. And because we don't want to sit here and wait for 15 minutes, I've actually already done that with a tree. I'll just bring that over. Okay, so this has had our hobby tack glue on it.
Applied already.
Yeah, and it's you can see it's already started to go kind of
Transparent.
in that clear, but it's really sticky. Very sticky stuff. So we've got our medium green clump foliage. We've got it in a little tub here. So this is the fun part, is you just put it in, and then when you pull this out,
Oh wow.
you've got a tree.
No way, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
So there we go. It's completely randomized. Oh, maybe we'll put a little bit more on there.
Double dipping.
Double dipping. Great. That is fantastic. So that was very easy to do. That bit didn't want to be there, I don't think.
I guess you can eventually, with some tweezers, add a bit more if you need in the specific spots that are not covered. But that is, I see even from the front, it probably gives even a better idea, so you can see it's a proper tree.
If I put it sideways like this, you might be able to see.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
It's a lot of depth.
Can you also stack on top of that with extra glue and glue?
You
on
could
top?
probably spray some glue and have some more depth, even colors. So if you want to have like some brighter colors or something else, you can probably sprinkle some different turf or whatsoever. So there's definitely options from here. You can even airbrush it if you want to get some more depth. Definitely is a possibility.
Well, we can actually demonstrate that because we've got this
here we go.
fine turf. So it's just really fine material, like almost like a foam. And it's just yellow grass. And we're just going to add a little bit of color and texture difference. We'll just sprinkle some of that on. So let's grab a little handful of it and just really lightly sprinkle that over the top of the tree. And it might be a little bit hard to see on camera, but it will give everything a lot more depth.
That's it. That's pretty good. And then I guess the more time you spend to get, you know, all this kind of fine details, the more the battery is going to look at the end. But definitely,
Absolutely.
it's a fantastic way to get some details on your diorama.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This is so we're gonna build this up, and this tree was our starting point.
It's going to sit on the top.
It will sit on the top
It's bigger than
somewhere.
the mountain.
And we'll go through explaining how to do paint and
Brilliant.
washes and how to apply grass and bushes and make it look as realistic and as
Brilliant.
lifelike as we can.
Well, so this is step one. That's a very important step actually, because creating greens is good for any kind of dioramas and or scenery in general, really. So model railways or static dioramas, even slot cars. Diorama, you can add some really interesting details by creating trees and another a bit of an environment. So definitely, as BJ is suggesting, this is a magic tree.
A magic trick.
A magic tree. So
A magician never reveals their secrets.
absolutely. So great. Awesome. So let's study up this. Thank you, Marlin. That
You're
was
welcome.
really good. And
Thanks,
so
guys.
next Friday, I think we're going to have another small
We will.
detail on this, really. So let's clear this up, and then we're going to move on to some RC stuff. Okay, pop in the box carefully. Going to do some cleaning here. Cool. Trees, amateurs, and I think this one
I'll
can
take
stay.
that one.
You're going to take this
Yeah,
one?
I'll take
I
that.
think you're going to leave it here in my office. Cool. Alright, it's going to stay there with Daisy. Alright, that's
Clean
okay.
your mat
We'll
up
clean
just
later.
a little bit.
Alright,
Thanks, guys.
and the glue, I'll pop it here for now. Alright, so, RC, Brad.
Hello, and hello, and hello some more. How are we all today? Wow,
Really good.
What
It's
a
been a
week.
long show already, but the
Has
best
it?
part is still to come.
Don't tell me you're all tired out before I get
We're
here.
done.
Hey?
We are
You're done. I
We're
heard
done.
somebody singing before. What was that about?
Oh no.
Who was that? Was that you?
That was your colleague. I thought it was you
Nah.
actually. Wasn't you singing?
Wasn't me. I don't think it was me. No.
No, it wasn't you.
How
So,
are we today? So what are we talking
Good.
about?
We're going to have a quick note on the Traxxas Hoss.
Yeah.
I'm going to
How
bring it
cool
up
are they?
quickly before we're going to talk about the BD10, which is the probably exciting things of this week. Is this Traxxas Hoss? So
Well,
was
we
it
sort
last?
of touched on this a little bit last week, didn't we, when we had a look at the X-Max?
Yeah. So that's a kind of almost a smaller brother. of
This
the
is a
Xbox.
more sensible
Yes,
sensible approach
definitely.
to your RC, where you don't have to spend, $2,500 sort of thing to get up and going.
It's more portable.
More conventional, definitely more portable. Will fit inside your house.
Definitely.
It doesn't have to live outside in the
You
garage.
don't have to buy a garage just for your remote
Just
control
for-
car.
or a big
But the
bench. Yeah,
features are quite similar, so super fast, 100 k's an hour,
Yeah.
ridiculous speed, so
absolutely
much
fly
power.
along. And they've got the beautiful things like the reinforced body,
Yeah, the quick
the lack
release,
of the quick release, and the no body pins, which
you
they've
go.
carried over.
like all the rod cage, let's call it rod cage
Yeah,
inside, so it
yeah,
prevents
rod
the
cage.
body from breaking when you have some big landings.
That's right, landed on its roof, no worries. We've got this very clever battery retention system, which will take a couple of sizes of batteries, obviously, because you
So
can
first-
run this one on two cell and 3 cell,
Yeah.
which is immense power for a little truck.
Got a
11
huge
volts.
motor here. Look
Huge
at the
motor, isn't it?
If you compare to the other, the Rustler, for example, this is much bigger motor, so a lot more power there.
A lot more power, isn't it? Yeah, it's really, they've put a lot of time and effort into getting this thing to go really quick.
Absolutely. So this is it's like an upgrade. It's on the platform of the Rustler 4x4.
Yes.
But for what I understand, they've upgraded a couple of parts. As you can see, the drive shaft are grey, so I think they start using different material to be
Yeah,
able to
I think
handle the
the-
power.
Yeah, a little bit. I think you're right there, and I think they've got a better wheelie bar.
Better wheelie bar,
They've definitely got this same as we saw in the
X-Max.
the X-Match. I'm not sure which camera.
Yeah,
it
we
is,
are on the top camera here, so you
on the top camera,
yeah.
so we can see here the what would you call it? Crumple zone or the
Yeah.
energy absorption thing. We've also got it over here on the front as well. So you've really got a lot of flexibility. It's strong but flexible, which is really what you want on
Oh,
one of
such a
these,
car.
because you want it to have a little bit of give.
Definitely.
You want it just to rough and tumble. So really strong and reliable. For the amount that we sell, we really don't see a lot come back unless they've been run
Yeah.
over by a car or something. That doesn't end
You're
up
going to
well.
break it no matter what, but you're going to crash it according to the speed of the car, really.
Yeah,
So I can see this going on to a nice skate park.
yeah.
We haven't taken
definitely.
this to the skate park, but it should happen eventually soon.
I think so. I think it's definitely on the cards, isn't
So
it?
we're going to pop in a 3S battery on this one, like a nice 9-step 3S 5200 battery.
Yeah.
We've got bigger ones too, up to probably
7,600.
7,600.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a good starting point.
And look, we always get asked, how long will it last for? How long does it run for? I mean, really depends on how you use it, and also the size of the rating of your battery. So if it's a smaller battery, a 5200, and you're on sand or wet surface, then obviously the motor and the drivetrain's under a lot of load.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just whipping up and down the street or playing on a gravel driveway, you won't be using anywhere near as much throttle or power from the battery. So I would like to think that with a 7,000 milliamp battery and sensible driving, that you really should have a runtime of around 20 minutes.
At least, yeah,
You know,
definitely.
that really should be quite achievable.
It depends how you manage it. Really, there's so much power. They really need to go full throttle. Really, so if you manage it well, you can have some pretty solid runtime. So this is on special now at $7.95.
Really?
And it comes with a battery included as well. So
For $7.95 with a battery?
with a battery, really good deal. So jump on this. We've got a few. There's a couple of different colors. There is an orange
Gotta
and
be
a
green.
green.
Gotta be green.
Gonna be green. I think so. I think so. Green has to be.
Fantastic,
But
isn't it?
Traxxas Horse, that's probably the latest release. They came in just before Christmas. So
Yeah.
one of the latest cars. So
Newest, strongest, fastest 10 scale platform, isn't it?
indeed,
You know?
indeed. So
a lot of
be
fun there.
good fun car. So let's put this aside.
Put this one down.
This is good, and we're gonna move to
Something
one's-
out that just landed yesterday.
so the
The BD10 LCR, or LC, low center
LCR.
of gravity, and the LCR is referring to the, this one's got the sticker upside down, referring
Whoops.
to the RTC kit that's included within.
What is an RTC for those that don't know?
An RTC kit is
Rear
rear
toe
toe
control,
control.
system.
That's right.
Really, yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of the acronym. Rear toe control. So that allows you to induce bump steer, if you will, across the rear axle, which will effectively give you somewhat of four-wheel steering capabilities.
It's a very dynamic type system, really, where based on the travel and the car, you
Yeah,
get
and
like
how much the chassis is
the
leaning
chassis
and
leaning
the roll.
kind of changes the angle slightly.
Yeah, the angle slightly on the rear wheel. So instead of it just being a conventional two-wheel drive, you're essentially building it up to be for a two-wheel steer. You're essentially building up to be a four-wheel steering package.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is only talking like 1 degree, maybe 2 degrees of movement in relation to the rear toe of the wheels, but that can make a big difference on the track.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's something that's been on the BD10 for quite a while now,
Yeah.
or BD9, BD8,
BD8,
as an optional extra. But YOKOMO have released it as an option in the kit. So
That's right.
you can option it. You can get the standard BD10 LC, low center of gravity, and you can get the LCR, the
That's
low,
right.
low center of gravity with the rear toe control system.
So this is an evolution of the BD10, which you guys have seen on the show quite a few times.
Yeah, we built one up recently, didn't we?
Absolutely.
The
So
current spec racing machine.
let's have a look at what's in the box. So this is a kit. So for those who don't know, racing cars comes in a kit, which means that you need to build it from scratch.
Build it up. So we've got
You got
instructions.
your instruction manual
We've got stickers.
with all the stickers and everything.
We've got the supplements of the
So
of the
we're
new
looking
kit,
at-
the LC and the LC of the
That's right.
RTC kit.
That's it. And then
Yep.
it's all in bags. So your bags are numbered. So you go from bag 1 to bag, I don't know which number, but you've got all the numbers
16.
here.
Yep.
Let's see if you can see
Bag
it.
number 1.
And so if you follow the instructions,
Absolutely.
first page will address bag number 1. And here we go. Actually, let's put it here. We are on the top camera here. So that's the front
The
spool.
front spool
And
assembly,
the
isn't it?
diff,
So the
there's
front
a diff.
axle and the
So you
rear.
see here that matches this part here and so forth. So each page will go. Page 2 is the differential here. And
Yep.
let's just go along.
So it's complicated, but not self-explanatory, but well explained in
Definitely,
the manual.
definitely.
They are really quite concise and very detailed. And really make building the kit quite easy if you just follow the book.
Definitely. So bag 1 has the diff, the front spool, sway bars.
Yep.
That's the motor mount
Motor mount.
in the center of the car.
Yep.
Then you got front and rear arms by the look of it. Some
That's fantastic. Get your drivetrain components.
train, the shock towers.
Bulkheads, shock
bulkheads.
towers.
It's a lot. There is a lot of car in this bag.
A lot of car. Now, The BD10 LC, that's the latest incarnation of this card. That refers to low center of gravity. So what they've done is they've taken the BD10 and they've made everything, they've squashed it all effectively down. So it's got lower, compared to the current BD10, the old one now, it's got lower shock towers, it's got different spring retainers on the shocks.
That's right.
And they've changed the upper bulkhead brackets to move the weight lower down on the chassis. So
definitely.
lower center of gravity should work out to greater performance and lower lap times, which is what these cars are all about.
More consistency too, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a big thing. So hopefully we can utilise it, make them faster and win the races, I suppose.
So, moving to the second bag. So they give
What have
you...
we got in there?
There's a servo mount here, actually. So the servo mount now is in a one piece, and it's a CNC machine part. Has been the case for YOKOMO for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years at least. Before it used to be a couple of different pieces.
Beautiful machining and anodizing, aren't they?
Absolutely, as you can see.
On their Ally products. It's just fantastic.
You got the shocks in here that we just spoke about. You got your shocks, it's the
Again,
collar.
and that's where you pay the really good money for on these kits. It's the finer details and it's the precision parts. Like
That's right.
YOKOMO shock absorbers, they're second to none in their construction and the quality of the seals, the shock shafts, the shock bodies. They're strong, precise, smooth.
Very clean, very important, yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's some more parts of the drivetrain, your belts.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a belt-driven car, which is pretty standard nowadays for a top-of-the-range touring car.
Yeah.
It used to be shaft-driven back up to a few years ago, but most of the manufacturer now moved to
gone to belt. And
belt.
it's the mid-motor configuration or the mid-spur gear configuration, so they've got equal length belts front and rear.
Which is really good, actually.
Makes it good for spares as
Yeah,
well,
so that
because you
was,
only need the one length belt.
That's right, it was the evolution for last year, actually. We went from
The
rear
BD9
mount
mid-mount,
model
yeah.
to mid-mount, which
Yeah,
is
that was
good.
definitely the flavour of the year, was having everything mid-mount. There's your top deck.
This is quite nice. That's the top deck. So see how thin and how flexible this is?
Yeah.
So that's very important because different layouts of top decks then can actually affect how the car behaves.
Yeah.
As for flexibility and
Well, it allows the car to flex
Flex.
and move in another way. It's a little bit, carbon fibre is a little bit like timber in that it flexes without breaking and springs back. And that's
right.
why carbon fibre is really used throughout the on-road cars, is because it's got that little bit of give, that bit of flex that you can control somewhat by adjusting it and tuning it, but it will always spring back.
That's
Whereas
right.
where you have more of an alloy construction or whatever, then you'll find that over time it starts to tweak or slightly
You can bring
bend
it
in
back
one
anymore.
direction.
That's right.
They get fatigued in certain ways, where carbon fibre is it will go back to the centre point a lot more.
That's right.
And it's very tunable. You'll notice on the bottom chassis plate here, which is also precision carbon fibre, all these holes here along the centre line that we're looking at, these are all tuning screws, and now that tunes your flex. So it depends where you have the screws and how many screws you have into to how the car behaves, how you generate traction, and how much give you're giving across the chassis.
So the combination between the top deck and the number of screws you have in the bottom of your chassis, you get this. Let's see if we can actually demonstrate here.
Yep.
That kind of twist, which doesn't seem much, but is actually
Yeah, absolutely.
quite a lot.
And that's how we get certain
Traction.
driving characteristics and traction characteristics of the cars.
Absolutely.
And obviously we want to develop as much traction as we can, but still be able to obviously steer the car
That's
as fast
right.
as possible.
That's
if
right.
we've got too much traction at the rear, then the front end will just be pushing or understeering,
Yep.
and making you run wide and slowing you down. And then alternatively, if you have too much traction at the front in certain conditions, then as you're turning, the rear will be trying to spin out, break free, and
That's right.
and you'll be constantly trying to spin out, which is all slowing you down. So you got to find that balance, front and rear.
That's right. And overall, really, if you have too much grip, then you're definitely gonna go around a corner really nicely, but it's gonna be slow still. So there's a big balance in
Yeah.
finding the right.
And everybody drives these little cars
Differently,
you know,
yeah.
everybody, and different horsepower ratings as well, or motor
right.
racing the classes. So you can go from as little as sort of, I suppose, 200 watts. I think probably in the 21.5, and then in the up to the modified classes, you know, you've got motors capable of delivering probably 800 watts of power.
Wow.
You know,
Big power.
yeah.
big power. So we
So it's
get
nearly a
close to
kilowatt
100
of
k's an
power.
hour, really.
Oh,
So
for
it's-
sure,
that's
in the
really
right
quick.
conditions.
In the right conditions, yeah.
But it's really just, like I said, these cars are built and machined, and their purpose is to go around a predetermined track that's fast as
That's
we
right.
can.
That's
you
right.
know? So there's a lot more to it than just going and stopping.
And final part, which is what we actually discussed just before,
Yeah.
is the rear torque control
The
system.
RTC system. Yeah.
Which comes in a small bag, because it's an option part really, which you can add and remove as
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah, so with this kit it comes with the standard parts, so you can set it up to be two-wheel steer or standard configuration, or you can build it in the RTC system.
That's right.
On certain conditions and variations, you may not want to run the RTC, so that's why they've given you the standard parts in there. Really, I suppose the biggest drawbacks with it is maybe it's a little bit more delicate.
Probably a bit
If you-
heavier too.
If you hit something, there's a little bit more moving parts and
Yeah.
complicated things there to go wrong and break. And the other thing is, you're adding probably 20 grams of weight over the rear axle. So if you're doing without that or not really utilising the tow control system, it can be beneficial sometimes not to have it.
To remove it. So is there again a tuning option, which
Definitely.
again, as you put it on, other parts of the car they need to be tuned and adjusted in
Yeah.
relation to that as well. So
And the
lots of
beauty
tuning.
about having it in the kit is it's actually like a real cost-effective way to get it. Because I think it was on the BD10 as a tuning option part. I want to say it's about $250,
Something like that.
isn't it? To
Yeah,
buy?
there's quite
Where-
lots of parts that go into there, because you have the rear
Yeah.
hubs, you got the arms, there's quite a lot of
Bearings, you've
bearings.
got little carbon fibre arms, you've got the ball cups, the ball ends.
It's a full rear end effectively.
Yeah, and you're putting on a whole rear end.
Yeah.
So it was $250 option, whereas the price difference between the kits, I want to say, is under 200, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's correct. Yes, it's
But-
definitely a worthwhile option, really.
And you're getting a lot of spares to build your car.
That's
as well,
right.
if you get the RTC.
at least you can have a go, because you never know unless you try. Really, it's really hard to
Sometimes,
tell if
yeah.
it's going to work for you or not.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I mean, that's the thing with these cars, is you want to tinker.
That's
you know,
right.
You want to try things, you want the options there, whether it's faster or not.
You know afterwards. And different track require different kind of setup. So you find that some
Absolutely.
places works and some other doesn't.
Yeah.
And so
Different levels and skill sets as well.
unless
So
you try, you don't know.
absolutely. So
And this is the best part of this, really. It's you want to be winning, you want to be fast, but you want to also tinker and play and
that's right.
build it. That's,
It's
I
a
guess,
bit of a problem-solving game. I think that's
big part of
that's
the
the big part of the fun. You know, is problem solving and working through the problems, or isolating them, or making problems. You
And
know,
and
I've
learning,
made a
really.
mistake and learning, and that's where you get really good, value for money, time-wise in it. You know, it's really rewarding.
These
Yeah.
are pretty much like little Formula One cars or little real race cars. So you everything you tune will give you different feedback, really.
Absolutely.
So you can experiment. What's going to happen here often is similar to what will happen in a real
Absolutely.
size car to a degree. So it's a nice
Yeah.
thing to learn the physics.
Absolutely,
apply.
it's like
And
yeah,
so-
everything from the little aerodynamic changes that we
That's
could
right.
make, the wing adjustments. You know, okay, most people that race radio control cars don't have access to a wind tunnel, but at the same time, it's a $50 body to try these things.
That's right.
So it's not a huge investment to do your own exploration and
Absolutely.
research and development.
And it's fun to see what it does when you move the body forward or backwards.
That's right.
They produce different wings, even the wing position at the rear makes a huge difference. So good fun. So if you ever get onto something like this, don't be shy to try.
Yeah, a BD10.
And to come in the race, come in the truck, and talk to other people, because they want to try different things. And
Absolutely. And any
just
track
learn.
in Victoria, or wherever we are, it's always good that our fans come up and say g'day.
That's right.
Say hello. We're always there. Actually racing again this weekend, aren't we?
We are racing at the EMCC this weekend.
Yes.
It's a big 1/8 event.
Yep, a
And
Hearns
so-
Homies EMCC Cup, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
So that's a yearly event.
Yeah, once a year,
once a
annual
year.
event. That'd be the first time that I've been out racing EP8 buggies. Not that I'm personally racing, but we've got Richard Hopkins out there driving for us.
That's
in
right.
a buggy that we've
So it'll be
had a good
big
hand
crew.
in putting together, and that. Yeah, I'll be out there pitting and saying hi to people and
Brilliant.
just having fun.
So jump online at EMCC. It's a club down here in Melbourne.
Yep.
Big event this weekend.
Out in Montana, we'll be there Saturday
That's right.
practicing, and Sunday is
Racing.
race day.
Absolutely,
All day.
so-
It'll be fantastic.
Have a look at that. It's good fun racing 1/8. It's a very different style of racing compared to what we just showed you here.
Oh yeah,
It's a bit dustier.
It's very dusty, very bouncy,
Very bouncy. Big jumps.
yeah.
But good fun. Bigger cars too, mind you.
Yeah, it's really just like taking a a car to a BMX track. You know, it's
That's
like
right.
it's a little supercross track for an off-road racing
That's
machine.
right.
So there's lots of rough and tumble, lots of dirt. Yeah, it's different. The cars are a bit slower than the on-road cars. Obviously, no traction, but the cars are that tough. I'm
Impressed.
blown away by
Impressed.
how strong these cars
Definitely.
are, the punishment they can take, and how much fun it is too. It was really a great deal of fun.
Absolutely. So, very good. So let's see if there is any questions, because we're coming towards the end. We've done a very long show today, so it's an hour and 10 minutes already.
An hour and 10.
Close
I'll
to
be
the
ready for a
record.
nap.
I think the longest was 72 minutes, and I think
Really?
if we answer one question, we will be breaking the record again.
Did anybody guess the car? What car have we
I
got?
think the car was guessed halfway through the show. It was
Already?
yeah,
Is it that
definitely.
distinctive?
Definitely. It was 1967 Ford Falcon XR GT.
XR.
Here we go.
Because the XR, the XT, they're all very similar. So whoever picked that
That was impressive. I don't think you could.
obviously
it's very
a
hard
bit
to
of a
see.
Ford nut
Let's see.
to really choose
There
that.
we go. So it's a 143 scale little die cast.
They're
from
actually
DDA
really good
Collectibles.
quality, aren't these die casts?
Very good very good quality.
And they're really well priced. You know, you don't have to spend $300
No,
to have
you can have
a good die cast, do you?
From what I understand, this company is coming out with quite a few different classic Australian cars in this smaller scale, which is quite easy because they don't take much space. You can have a full collection of your favorite Aussie cars
That's fantastic.
in a
isn't
smaller
it?
space. So
Yeah, absolutely.
great. So we're almost at the end. So don't forget the competition. So we have a diorama competition going for
Really?
little dioramas. They will
Fantastic.
go for another 2 weeks.
Warwick and BJ should not be allowed to enter.
They are not allowed to enter.
I can't believe old Daisy here. Wow.
Yeah, we've got Daisy here. And Warwick committed to produce another Daisy by next week, which I don't know
Really?
will happen.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to sleep
but he
between now and
committed
then.
on camera.
Did he?
We got him to commit.
Yeah. And we
And-
even had a talent show today.
We have a talent show, yes, singing.
That's
So
fantastic.
That went really well.
Absolutely.
And what else? So just make sure you follow us through YouTube. We've got a video every day coming out. Just jump there, subscribe, leave us some comments so we know what you would like to see next time. So
Absolutely.
lots of unboxing, lots of tutorials. We'll have a
Fantastic.
couple of RC tutorial next week, hopefully. Drop some comments throughout the week on our social media. It's always handy to know what you like to see. We're here
Absolutely.
to bring you some news
We
and
can
new
bring
products.
bring you the news and the products that you want to see.
That's right.
It's not just what we
And,
want to do.
enjoy the weekend. If you're racing, good luck.
Good luck.
If you're modeling, have fun.
Have fun.
And
Play
we'll
safe.
play safe. And we shall see you next
Yes.
Friday, 2 p.m. for another very special show.
Fantastic.
All right, everyone.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a good weekend. Thank you for
Thanks for
coming.
watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.